Come on into the room. Come on into the room. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about this particular stream, live, webinar, all of that good. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into the room. Grand risings. Hello, all of that good stuff to each and every one of you. My name is Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton, and I am excited to be here with you all on today for the To Teach or Not to Teach presents the Beyond the Classroom Volume 3 virtual conference. This has been a long time coming, so come on into the room. Be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state in the chat and let everybody know that you are in attendance so that we can see where our conference is reaching. It's so good to see so many of you. We have been in the backstage talking to our co-authors, our visionary, our author coach, our keynote. I am so excited for all of you to get this information on today. I hope that you are as excited as I am. And if you're not, by the time this conference ends, you will be lit on fire. Okay. So yes, come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state in the comments. I know we are streaming to multiple platforms on this morning. We are streaming to Facebook and YouTube most urgently via all of our co-authors platforms, whether they are sharing or whether they are streaming live. Make sure that when you see their information go across the stream, that you go out and you support their social media platform. It is important, and these internet streets for you guys to share, for you to comment, for you to like, for you to subscribe, okay? And for you to be engaging in the chat, especially in these internet streets right now, okay? So in just a few moments, I will be turning over this call to the actual visionary. We have a couple of more minutes of introduction going on as you guys begin to settle yourselves and get excited about this conference. So it looks like we have Judy Olson from Atlanta, Georgia. What's going on, Brandon Slaughter? Glad to have you here as well. Go ahead. Hey there, Christopher Allen Razor, one of our amazing co-authors on today. Just in case you guys do not know, if you go out here and you do a search, okay, for the hashtag Beyond the Classroom, most of our co-authors have this listed in their down description, in their title, somewhere along the line, so that you guys can find them rather quickly. So Beyond the Classroom is one of the hashtags we are using today so that you can locate us and you can locate all of our co-authors. I hope you guys are thrilled and excited and you are ready to get this information. I promise you, if you are trying to figure out whether or not you are interested in staying in the classroom or you are interested in going beyond the classroom, then this is the conference for you all on today. If you are on the fence and you are trying to determine if you need to do both, this is the conference for you on today. We are celebrating some amazing authors. This has been a very interesting journey to bring so many different personalities, gifts, and talents together to be able to deliver not only this manuscript to you on today, Beyond the Classroom. You will be able to get this download by looking in any of the descriptions of any of the co-authors and ensuring that you support your authors on today, okay? You will be able to read this manuscript and you will be able to make some very pivotal decisions in your life for whether you want to stay in the classroom, you want to go beyond the classroom, or you want to do both, okay? Our visionary will give you a little bit more information on how she was able to make that decision, as well as how many of our co-authors have been able to make that decision in, out, or both. Okay. So what I would love to do right now is to continue to welcome one into the room. Eve Brownlee, you guys will get to hear from her. Shanae Payne out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Yes. Our author coach, Shanine Young, is in the backstage. Our visionary is in the backstage. Yes. Our authors are in the backstage. I am so excited for you all. Continue to engage in the chat as we begin to get started. So what I would love to do is go ahead and do a small pivot, a little shift. We are 10 minutes in and I do not want to eat up too much of our time. So I'm going to take a moment to stop our come on into the room stream, and I'm going to begin to shift and transition over to our introduction for our woman of the hour, the visionary Stephanie J. Sanders.
Stephanie J. Sanders is an educator of over 10 plus years who has gone above and beyond the classroom. As the founder and CEO of Cultivated Minds Enterprises, LLC, she is a relentless force dedicated to empowering teachers to leverage their recession-proof skills to achieve financial security. Her passion and commitment make her a dynamic leader in education and entrepreneurship, inspiring serious-minded individuals to reach new heights of success. I am honored, privileged, and it is a pleasure to introduce you to the visionary Stephanie J. Sanders.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing this amazing morning? Good morning, Martina.
Good morning, the duo. How are you on this morning?
I am fantastic.
Beautiful. So what I know that we need to do, I believe you said you wanted to jumpstart and start off with our first raffle.
Yes. So welcome, everyone. I just want to welcome you guys to our amazing conference. My name is Stephanie J. Sanders, and I am the visionary for this project. Well, who am I, right? Stephanie J. Sanders is an educator of 14 plus years. I'm also a mentor. I'm a business owner. I am an author of 3 amazing books that I'm going to share in a little bit. But enough about me. I want to get to the prizes. So I want to thank you guys first and foremost for being here this morning. And our first registration raffle is underway. So if you register, the perk of registering is so you can be entered into our raffle. So I want to thank all of our registrants, and we have a whopping 211 registrants. Woo! 211 registrants for this amazing conference. So shout out to you guys. How we are doing this. How we are doing this raffle is I simply took your names and I put it on a list. And now we are going to spin the wheel so we can see our lovely winner. So our first raffle, Martina, goes to Miss Rochelle S. Morrishaw. So Miss Rochelle, welcome. Martina, would you like to tell her what she has won? Let me take this off the screen. All right, Martina, I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm sorry. I was muted. See, technology, guys, we make mistakes. Thank you so much for that, Rochelle. Your gift and prize on today for registering and being a part of our conference is the 30 Days and 30 Ways to Self-Improvement Journal. So there's also a bonus in the back. So don't be one of the people who grab your book, don't read it. There's a bonus in here for you, sis. So make sure that you get in contact with the information that is sent out to you so that we can get you this journal, 30 Ways and 30 Days to Self-Improvement. And if you're already on the road to self-improvement, sis, share it. Sharing is caring.
Awesome. So congratulations to you. Now let's get into this conference, right? What prompted this conference? Why a third book? Well, it all started with the conversation of to teach or not to teach. I was introduced to an amazing young lady who was assisting in a project to teach or not to teach, and that's a conversation that, you know, as educators we have, right? Should we stay here or should we go? So I wanted to capitalize off the opportunity to do something that I've always wanted to do, and that's to be an author. I always had a passion of writing, to be an author, but my lane diverged to become an educator. And with that greatness, you know, becoming an educator, it allowed me to put my thoughts, my experiences into this amazing book called To Teach or Not to Teach. And with this conversation, it sparked book 2, which is To Teach or Not to Teach, the classroom CEO. So even though I've been in the classroom now for 14 years, at the time it was 12, 13, I still had my own business because I know how valuable that is. Instead of going out to get another job, I got a business, right? Way more, in my opinion, way more profitable. So with that, I started to notice different skill sets that I've used, and it translates from the classroom to my business. So this book is actually about how I balance a successful classroom and a business. So in the classroom, teaching high school, having 80% proficiency, over 80% proficiency for the past 2 years, as well as helping over 100 individuals create financial strategies to success. So that's this book. So what prompted number 3? So because of that first conversation, because of all the accomplishments, because of the network of people that I was able to meet, it gave me the idea for Beyond the Classroom. As educators, we are so valuable. We have skills that we use interchangeably between our classroom and in the real world. So I know I work with some amazing people, but I wanted to find out who is beyond the classroom, who is being successful in the classroom as well as beyond the 4 walls. So when I say beyond the classroom, what I mean is beyond the classroom teacher. So that's why we have some amazing positions in this edition of Beyond the Classroom, because there are other things outside of teaching that you can do that your skills will allot you a lot better. So that's the inspiration for this book here. And all of it started with this amazing young lady that I get the pleasure of bringing up, that I met last year, who is the actual reason why I'm an author today. So I'm truly grateful to have her. We've worked on various projects together, obviously the first 2. And I'm truly grateful to have her as a guide and looking forward to even more success from her. And this young lady's name is Miss Shanine A. Young. She is a world-renowned author. She is a she is a speaker. She is a publishing consultant. She is my author coach. She is also a wife and a mom of 2 beautiful little ones. She is passionate about teaching entrepreneurs and educators how to turn their story and experience into a published book so they can grow their business and build their authority. She's the CEO of Reaching While Teaching and the founder of the Books to Impact coaching program, where she has impacted hundreds of entrepreneurs and educators avoid some of the most common publishing mistakes, turn their ideas into published books, and make the impact they really desire. She has also been featured on Fox News, Voyage MIA, and several other press and media outlets. I would like to introduce you to my author coach, Miss Shanine A. Young.
Did you know that 97% of people who start writing a book actually never finish? But guess what? That doesn't have to be you. Are you an entrepreneur looking to publish your story? Do you have expertise and experience that makes you unique? Then guess what? Our Books to Impact program is the perfect program for you. Let me tell you why. All right, you are not just gonna learn how to write your book, but you're gonna learn how to actually properly launch your book so you can make sales before your book is even done. We're gonna teach you the many distribution platforms that you can publish your book on. We're gonna walk you through the process on how to publish it correctly. And guess what? We're even gonna show you how to leverage the book, what you can do after your book is published to continue to make that impact and continue to make that income. So if you are interested in this program, all you have to do is go ahead and schedule your free author strategy call, and we can talk more, because we cannot wait to bring you on in.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited. Listen, I am excited to speak to you guys today. As she stated, I am an author coach, so I love helping you guys share your story, figure out what type of story you should share, and how you can get this story and book published, right? So today I am going to be talking a little bit about that. I'm going to be talking about how to share your story. And if you have ever thought about writing a book, what are some things that you need to be thinking of, and how you can kind of get started so you're on the right track. So I am going to present to you. Give me 1 second. I am excited. Hopefully you guys are excited because I know I am. All right, so we can get into this presentation. All right, so share your story, write that book. So for those who do not know who I am, you can go ahead and check out Reaching While Teaching on Instagram. You can connect with me on there. You connect with me on Reaching While Teaching and bookstoimpact.com. All right, so we're going to be getting into how you can share your story and how you can get started with writing your book. So I kind of want an idea of who is actually in here. So if you have thought...
I apologize for interrupting you. We're not seeing your screen yet, sis. So I know you're sharing your awesome information, but we're not seeing it. So at the bottom of the StreamYard stream, if you'll hit present and then share entire screen.
Technical difficulties. Look at that.
I know, but I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll show these tips again. So share the entire screen. Okay.
Yes. Perfect. And once you hit the blue button, I'll see it and I can bring it to the stage right alongside you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You see it now? Okay. So let me go back to the beginning. All right. So now y'all can see my screen. Let's rewind. All right. So we're going to be talking about sharing your story and how you can get started with writing your book. So if you are new to me, you're like, you've never seen me before, go ahead and go to Reaching While Teaching on Instagram. Give me a follow. You can send me a message. We can chit chat. I'm very friendly. And you could go to bookstoimpact.com. So let's get into this presentation. So for those of you, some of you may be watching on Facebook, you may be watching on YouTube. I just want to get an idea of who's in here. Just let us know, drop it in the comments. If A, you're thinking of writing a book, you can go ahead and drop A. B, you've already started writing your book. Maybe you're working on it. You can drop B in the comments. If you're getting ready to be published, which is very exciting, go ahead and drop C in the comments. Or D, if you're already a published author. So maybe you have 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, maybe you got 10 published, right? You're already a published author. You can go ahead and drop D in the comments. I just love to get an idea of who is in the room and who is watching and tuning in, okay? And that lets you know as well, because maybe you've been thinking about it, but this is your first time ever like really writing it down or verbally speaking that you're thinking of writing a book, because I think a book is inside of everyone. All right, so why should you share your story? So there is only one you. There's nobody else on this planet. There's no one that has your DNA. There's no one quite like you. So if you're ever thinking like, oh, I'm not really that important, why should I share my story? There's only one you. So yes, we need to hear your story. We need to hear about your experiences, your expertise, those things that you have gone through in life. So why does your story matter? For one, it can inspire someone else. You never know what just maybe a 5-minute experience that you have gone through, you may think it's mediocre or not that important, but it can still inspire the next person. So I don't want you to ever doubt like, oh, my story's not important. No, that part of my life doesn't matter. Your story can inspire someone else. Okay. So I want you to think about some of these are just some things that I thought about that a lot of people may have in common. Some may not. So as I go through them, just think about how many of these have you actually experienced? It may be 2, maybe 3, and maybe 4. So burnout, which we're going to be talking about today. I'm excited to hear about that. The loss of a loved one, maybe divorce. Maybe you've experienced financial freedom. Maybe you've had divine partnerships where it's like, wow, I just connect with that person. Maybe you experienced some type of trauma on some level. Maybe you're a parents. Maybe you've had a season where favor was just coming out of anywhere, unexplainable favor. Maybe you had spiritual neglect. You felt neglected. Maybe you worked in a toxic work environment. I know we have some educators that are tuning in, so hopefully y'all, haven't experienced this, or even if you're in another profession, hopefully you haven't experienced a toxic work environment. But we know it's common, and this is something that you can't experience, right? So just thinking of all of these, like, if there's 100, 200 people tuned in right now, I promise you at least probably half of y'all are going to have at least two of these in common, right? So think about that. These are all different experience. And guess what? This is something that you can share if you decide to write a book, right? And this is something that someone may want to need to hear, or may even be curious to learn about, right? Because the way that you tell it is going to be unique. It's not going to be like anyone else, okay? So you may be like, who is this person talking? She's talking about sharing your story. She's telling me why I need to do it, why it's important, but I don't know her story. So let me tell you a little bit about my story, okay, who I am. So as stated before, my name is Shanine. I have a background in education. So I taught English for about 7 years in Florida. And while I was teaching, I just kept feeling the inkling tug. I felt like God just telling me to write a book, right? So my very first book, it was called Reaching While Teaching, an educator's guide to impacting and transforming lives. So pretty much my very first book, it was for educators. And when I tell you, after I wrote that book, it literally just lit a spark in me, and it allowed me to just want to continue, like, seeing like what else is out there, right? It opened so many opportunities for me, opened so many doors. I was able to make so many sales, able to get books even in Africa, had different interviews, press releases, different things of that nature, right? So from there, I was just like, okay, I really like this. So from there, others kept asking me, hey, how can I do the same? So I created a course. From that course, I was like, let me create a program, right? And then I started publishing more books. And then I did my first collaboration book project, as you see in the bottom right there, where I gathered different business owners, called Freedom Over Fear. And I had a very successful event. From then, I went on to continue leveraging the book. I went to schools, I did speaking engagements, sold my book in bulk, even helped my baby girl at 3 years old publish her first book, her first children's book, right there at the bottom, right? And we had a sold out book tour. And I wrote this, and I copied this because this was actually a client, one of my very first clients. She messaged me. She was like, I reached over $2,000 in sales and I'm almost sold out. And that really inspired me and showed me, like, you know what? This is possible. I can give people a way where they can continue to impact others, and they can still make some income while they're at it, right? Because I know nothing wrong with a little more money, right? So that's pretty much my story, and that's what kind of lit the fuel in me. But just from me starting and wanting to share my story, the part of my story regarding education, you may have different parts of your story that you may want to share. So I hope during this presentation, you start thinking about that, okay? So why should you share your story? I want you to think about that. If you got to write that down in your journal, if you want to write it in your comments, if you don't know yet, by the end of this presentation, you should know why you would want to share your story, or why you even need to share your story, right? Think about some of the things that I just said. Can it inspire someone else? Is it unique? Is there no one else that has your exact story? Okay. So for one, sharing your story can increase your confidence. So this is actually one of my older clients. Her name is Nisha, and she decided to face her fears and share her story. So she actually joined a project that I was hosting called Freedom Over Fear, right? She had something unique about her is she was very timid. She was very shy. Even just with speaking, like, she would like stutter a little bit because she wasn't confident. So she shared with me that after going through the project, after getting help with sharing her story, she felt way more confident. And I could tell because she started booking speaking engagements like back to back after she became an author. And she hosted her own, she was in Arizona, she hosted her own book launch separate. So we had ours in Florida, and she wasn't able to make it. So she was like, you know what? I feel confident, coach. I'm going to host mine. She sold out the room. She had a whole bunch of people come in, and it was just amazing to see. So you sharing your story, you taking that leap of faith and understanding someone may need to hear from what you have gone through can help you increase your confidence. Okay. So that's one, if you're thinking. It can also help you increase your authority and your income. So these are two more of my clients as well. One was in the same book as well, and within the first 24 hours, she made $1,000 just following the strategies that we show you to implement. And then she went on to leverage her book to bring in multiple 4 and 5 figures in sales from leveraging her book inside of her programs and different things of that nature, right? So if you have a business, if you're thinking about writing a business, sharing your story and putting your book out there can help you increase your authority. Because think about the word author, right? Think about the word author. It's inside of the word authority, right? So it can help you increase your authority because people view you as, oh, they're an expert. They're talking about something they know, and it can help you increase your income, right? And another client as well, right there, she actually made $1,000 by walking in the airport because of it was crazy, her story, right? Because of the content she was putting out, the strategy she was following, and literally she kept posting about it and talking about it. And she went to the airport before she even officially released it. And she said she called me. She was like, she literally made $1,000 just by a lot of the people that knew her in the airport, and she was going to her hometown. And then one person told the next, right? So I want to encourage you to think about some of these things that I'm sharing. It can also help you increase your impact. So this is actually one of the keynote speakers that you'll be hearing from. So, and I put her picture on here because she was able to get her book into the hands of someone in Japan. And that is amazing, right? So you never know, like, you may be saying, my story's not that important, or I can't put a book out there. Or maybe you have one book and you have another one in you, and you, for some reason, something is scaring you, and you feel like, it's not really going to do much, not going to help anyone. Your story can impact the next person, right? Your book can go into rooms before you do. Your book can impact many lives. Your book can shift atmospheres. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching this on wherever you're watching, on Facebook, on YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're tuning in from, do not sleep on your story. Do not doubt the impact that you can make just by sharing parts of your journey that may resonate with the next person, right? Same thing for her right here. To the right, Gabby, she created a planner. We worked together and she put a planner out, right? And her planner was able to impact people because it had a different approach. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit when I give you some steps, in case you're saying, okay, I'm ready to share my story, but I don't know what to do, how to get started with my book. I'm going to share you some steps, and I'm going to talk specifically about her once I share those steps. Okay. So how can you get started with your book? So you may feel encouraged, you may feel inspired right now. You may be like, okay, yeah, my story, it needs to get out there, right? I have expertise to share. I need to get it out into the world. So how can you get started? For one, you need to be clear. So you need to be clear on what type of impact you want to make, and you need to be clear on like who really needs your book. Like, be clear on the purpose of your book. Please do not assume that your book is for everyone that has a post, because it's not. Okay. So sometimes we kind of think that, yeah, anyone can read it. Yeah, and that's fine. Anyone can pick it up. However, before you start writing that book, be clear on the impact you want it to make, who you want it to impact, and who it's for. Be as clear and specific as possible, right? Do not just try to generalize and just like, yeah, it's going to be a great book, everyone's going to read it. Like, no, who is it specifically for? So basically, you want to write your one sentence to summarize like your big picture idea. Like, so what's the big picture? What is it mainly about, right? So I know Stephanie was on here earlier, and she talked about to teach or not to teach, and the vision behind that project. And the very first project, my vision really was just, I wanted to explore the topic. I wanted to start a conversation where people can explore the topic. Should you teach or should you not teach? What are the pros? What are the cons, right? So that was like my big picture idea. So I want you to sit down and think about, what's one sentence that I could summarize? Like, what do I want this next book or my first book to really be about? Think about that, okay? Then you want to create an outline. So you want to write down your main topics, your main points, and then you want to turn those points into chapters. Then you want to add specific points that you plan to discuss inside of each chapter. So that's pretty much how you outline. So you're not like writing all over the place. The worst advice someone could give you, if you tell them you're trying to write a book and they say, yeah, just start writing. Do not just start writing, because you're going to be writing till kingdom come, right? And your writing's going to be all over the place. So I want to encourage you to actually create an outline, okay? Yeah, I know we learned about that in school, especially the educators. If any educators are tuning in, you've learned all about outlines. And even if you were a student, you learn all about outlines and the importance of it. So you're not all over the place. Number 3, you want to create writing goals and a writing schedule. So you want to create goals to keep track of yourself. So maybe you're trying to write a 10,000 word book. So create goals that are specific to the book that you are writing, and also create a writing schedule and make it realistic. Okay. Because if you're not a morning person, don't say every day I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to write. No, please make it realistic so that you actually achieve these goals. Okay. Then you want to create a marketing plan. So few people actually talk about this. Few people tell you that you need to do. They're just like, yeah, just publish the book, put it on Amazon. No. Okay. Number 1, you want to set your main goals. So what are your main goals that you want to accomplish with your book? Because every author that I work with, they have different goals. So for some, they want to get into schools. For some, they want to turn their book into a curriculum, right? So think about what your specific main goals are with your book. Then you want to identify your audience. Then you want to understand your competitive advantage. What makes you unique and different, right? So with the client that I talked about earlier, with her planner, she was telling me she wanted to put a planner out. And I was like, okay, but what's going to make your planner different from the others? And I literally have a few clients that have planners, and each of their planners are unique and it stands out. They have their own competitive advantage, right? So hers, she was like, yeah, I want to help you get through your daily things that you have going on, but also I want to encourage you with scriptures throughout the planner, right? So she had a different approach. Then I had another client that had a different vision for her planner as well. It was more so about like setting goals and different things of that nature, right? So understand your competitive advantage. Number 4, you want to create your elevator pitch. You don't want to talk for hours and hours when someone asks you what your book's about. You don't want to be talking for 5 minutes and then they start thinking about what they want to eat. Okay. You want to make sure you're very clear, it's crisp, and you get straight to the point. Number 5, you want to pick the right strategy. Everyone's marketing strategy is going to be different. So this is something you need to really spend time to think about and understand what works best for you. Maybe you want to actually promote more so offline. Maybe you want to do online marketing, right? So you want to create the approach that works best for you. And then number 5, you want to keep writing. You want to keep writing. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep writing. So once you do all of these things and you've gotten started, you got your marketing plan, you got your outline, keep writing. Keep writing until you finish writing, pretty much. Okay. Then that's going to get you one step closer to actually having this book in hand and becoming published. So in order to get published, you need to, of course, finish your manuscript because you can't publish a book that's not done. Okay. And you need to prepare your book for publication. So there's a few things you want to make sure you have in place to get ready for it to be published on whatever platform you're choosing it to be. Then you want to understand the different requirements. So as I stated, each platform has different requirements and how your manuscript needs to be. Okay. And then you just want to be prepared. Be prepared mentally. Be prepared physically. Be prepared monetarily. Like just be prepared and be ready for this journey as you're getting ready to be published, right? So these are just some tips to really just help you get started. I hope you took some notes and you actually take action on these things that I'm sharing. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you can write it in the comments. How confident are you that your story matters? Hopefully by the end of this presentation, we're coming to the end. We're at the end right now. Hopefully you feel that your story, that your experiences, that your expertise matters. So hopefully you guys are dropping tens. I'm seeing tens in the comments and you feel confident. If not a 10, maybe a 9, maybe 8.5, but hopefully not a 1 or 2. Like everyone should understand that their story matters. You should be willing and excited to want to share it. Okay, so we've helped countless authors understand that their story matters. We've helped several different authors publish different types of books. We love what we do here. And I'm just excited to share in case you're like, okay, I'm ready to write a book. I'm ready to get started. I need to kind of get into this somehow. If you're ready to write that book and impact the world with your story, you can drop impact in the comments. And I'm going to tell you one way that you can kind of get a little more assistance. So I gave you a little head start with this presentation, but in case you're like, I need a little more, maybe I'm considering working with you. Maybe I'm considering just getting started, but I need help. Here's something that can get you started. Okay. So this will help you if you're thinking of writing a book, you don't know where to start. You started writing your book, you need help launching it. This will help you if you already have a book out there and you're unsure how to market it and bring in sales. This will help you if you don't know how or you don't have the time to even create captions, to share, to create emails, headlines, to promote about your book and to speak about your business. So we have our profitable entrepreneur bundle. Okay. So pretty much what's inside this bundle is you get a detailed outline template. You get our 10-day done for you book launch calendar. You get the top 5 self-publishing printing sites and platforms guide. You get a done for you a marketing plan template. You get 10 proven ways to market your book checklist. You get a book marketing tips for business owners training, and you get a best marketing strategies training as well. And I also threw in 100 scroll stopping captions for social media, right? In case you're like, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to start my captions. This pretty much helps you. You drag and drop, copy and paste. Okay. So this is our profitable entrepreneur bundle. This is one way you can really get started and kind of get ahead. So pretty much if you're like this bundle sounds like something that I need, all you need to do is you can inbox me the word bundle on Instagram, Reaching While Teaching, or you can scan this QR code and it'll take you right to the link. I'll see if we can drop. I know everyone's all in different places, so I'll drop the link wherever we are. But just for you guys that are tuning in, if you use the code BEYOND, you will actually get $10 off. It's valued at over $497 with a lot of the stuff that's inside of it. However, for those of you who are tuning into this amazing conference and that you believe in your story and you're ready to get started, if you use the code BEYOND, it expires at midnight, you get $10 off. Okay. So I hope this was very helpful. I know it was very helpful. And I hope that you guys take the next step to start sharing your story. This bundle will help you get started. It's called the Profitable Entrepreneur Bundle. It's going to show you how to make an impact, and it's going to show you how to make an income with your story. And that's all I have for you guys.
Oh man, thank you so much. That was amazing information, invaluable. So make sure you get with Miss Young. She's put her information in the chat. So make sure you hit that word impact. And I just want to thank you because honestly, you are the reason why I'm an author today, right? So all of those things on the slide, everything that she's saying to do it. Right? Do it because it works. It works. And I'm so grateful for it because it's put me in the position that I'm in now. Right. So from the first conversation of to teach or not to teach, from an author to a speaker to now, I have an announcement at the end I'm going to get to, but all because of a conversation, because I wasn't afraid to share my story and to take advantage of an opportunity. So if that's you, you're going to hear from my authors as well and their experience. And fear is a big deal. Fear is a big deal, and it stops people from sharing their story. So we want you to be fearless. And I thank you again. We're going to go right into your raffle because it's about that time. So let's go to the raffle and then you can share what our winner will get. So our registrants, we're going to go into another raffle. So if you registered, that's a good thing, right? So here is our raffle. Can you guys see it? All right. So let's spin our wheel. And our winner is Lakeisha Taylor. All right, let me just get her name down, make sure she is present, and let me get off of this.
Yay! Congrats, Kakika. Congrats. So pretty much what you win is you will get our it's a digital impactful authors goal setting bundle. So pretty much this is the physical copy. So it's a journal where it helps you walk through your entrepreneur goals. So maybe you're trying to write your book, you're trying to publish it, you're trying to market it, right? So you will get the journal, you will also get a book outline template, and you will also get a checklist of different ways to market your book, right? So this will kind of catapult you and to push you into sharing your story. So congrats to you, and I can't wait to get this over to you.
Awesome. So it sounds like you're going to have another author sharing their story, starting off with goals. It starts with an idea. It definitely does.
Thank you.
So I thank you again for being here. I thank you so much for all your contributions.
Of course.
And we're going to keep it moving right along as we go through this conference. I thank you guys again, my guests, for being here on this Saturday. And we have some powerful, powerful speakers. You know, it's not just limited to educators, right? Everyone has a book within them, right? Like Shanine said, everyone has a book. Find your unique thing and let us know about it. So with that, I met our keynote speaker on the last project, which was the To Teach or Not to Teach CEO, the classroom CEO. And when I met her, she was full of personality. We didn't know, each other from Adam, right? We're complete strangers, but the project brought us together. And I'm so grateful to have her on tonight on this morning speaking to us, because I met her the day before our conference and in person the day before. And when we got to the conference and I heard her speak, I just was floored. You never know who you are speaking to. You never know what's going on in somebody else's life, right? So to hear her story, she has a powerful story. She is an educator, and guys, you get ready to be blown away. She is a survivor of educator burnout. Coach Tadanisa Carter became an advocate and mouthpiece for other educators. She is a wife, a mother, an international author. She is also the CEO and founder of Lee Avery Consulting, LLC. As an educator of 17 years, she has served as a classroom educator, a grade level chair, a mentor, a chairwoman of various committees, and she leads student clubs, and she's also the teacher of the year. Now, after suffering educator burnout in the height of COVID in 2020, she realized that her God-given purpose was to serve and to be an advocate for educators by becoming an educator balance coach. As an educator balance coach, she guides educators to prevent burnout by utilizing boundaries, creating balance, and implementing the best strategies for their busy lives. Tadanisa believes all educators are great educators by becoming a priority, having balance and boundaries, and taking care of yourself first and foremost. I would like to introduce to you Coach Tadanisa Carter.
My name is Tadanisa Ford Carter, and I am an educator balance coach. I'm probably sure you're wondering, what is an educator balance coach? Well, let me go ahead and tell you. I guide educators to create work-life balance, utilize boundaries, and implement best strategies for their busy lives. You're probably wondering, why did you become an educator balance coach? Well, in 2020, I, as an educator, suffered from burnout. Here's the difference. I had no idea I was suffering from educator burnout. I was placed on short-term disability for 3.5 months. And while I was out, I was trying to figure out what was going on with me. I spent that time going to 3 different neurologists. 3 neurologists who could not tell me what was going on with me. So, I didn't have an educator to talk to. I didn't have an educator that was going through what I was going through. So I decided that I was going to be that educator balance coach for educators. I decided that I'm going to be that educator that I needed to be for other educators. So I help educators become unstuck. I help educators change their mindset. I help educators become a priority in their lives. We know being an educator, we give our everything to education. Our students, our team, our admin, and who loses out in the end? We do, and our families. So I help you be the best educator that you can be.
Hello. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Good morning. I am so happy to be here this morning. I hope that you walk away with some information that you can use, whether you're still deciding to be in the classroom or whether you are deciding to go beyond the classroom. So this morning, I'm gonna have you think a little bit, and I hope when you leave from this conference that you have gained some knowledge that you can take with you, that you can use wherever it is that you are going further in education, staying in your classroom, or going beyond the classroom. So I would love if we can have my presentation pulled up, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so I am going to be talking about teacher burnout beyond the classroom, right? I know that some of us, when we think about burnout, and I want you to think about this, when we think about burnout, which picture resonates with you? Is it the this picture or the that picture? Let me know in the comments, which picture resonates with you when you think about educators that have burned out, educators that you know, educators that we've seen online. What picture resonates with you? The this picture or the that picture? And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was looking for pictures to find, the this picture came up. It was so hard to find another picture. All the pictures for educator burnout was the teacher that is showing up for this. He's tired. His head is down. He's probably ready to get off of work. He's exhausted, right? But what if I told you, and I like that, Chris, thank you so much. What if I told you that an educator burnout can show up both ways? It can show up both ways. This and the that picture. How do I know? I was the that picture. I didn't show up at work being tired. I didn't show up at work putting my head down. I showed up, I was giving my all, but I was doing the that. I was that. But we're going to get into that a little bit later on. Okay? I want you to think, for all your years that you've been an educator, for your years that you might not be in education, but even in your regular career, I want you to identify which teacher, and if you're not an educator, just go along with me. Think about you in your current career. Which educator or which teacher is it that you most relate to? Have you been or are you currently the burned out teacher? The teacher that is tired, the teacher that is overwhelmed, the teacher that doesn't know how to work. You're always at home doing IEPs, grading papers, talking to parents. Like you do not know how to rest. And let me know in the chat. It's okay. We're all here. We're educators. We've been here before, a time or two ourselves. Are you the waiter teacher? You're serving during the week, but you're waiting for the next break. I was the waiter teacher. I was serving. I was giving everything that I could to my students. And at this time, like she said in my introduction and in my bio, that this was in 2020. So this was at the height of COVID. So I had students that were asynchronously and synchronously. I had students that were at home learning, and I had students that were in my face in the classroom. And honestly, I had more students at home that was in the classroom. So I was serving. I was giving it up. I was recording videos, but I was ready for the next break. I was tired. I was worn out, but you didn't know it on the outside. Or are you what you consider a balanced teacher? Do you leave work at work? Do you feel rested? Do you involve yourself in self-care? And I'm talking about more than just getting your nails done, more than just going out to brunch. Do you find that you are able to, once you leave out of those four walls, beyond the classroom, and when I'm talking about beyond the classroom, I'm talking about leaving out of that building. Do you find that you are balanced? Let me know. I see that the overwhelmed teacher, hey, I have been there. I've been there. I've been the waiter teacher. Now I'm the balance teacher. So let me share a little bit about my experience. You did hear about it in my video, but let me just share a little bit about my experience. So on September 19th of 2020, I suffered a tremor. Here's the thing, doctors thought it was a seizure, but during testing, it didn't show up as a seizure, but this was the only excuse that they could give me. I went to bed fine that Friday, woke up, my legs were tremoring. My tremors were so bad that doctors said that I mimicked Parkinson's. But they said, but she's too young for Parkinson's. We don't know what's going on with her. Notice the date. I went out on September 19th. I did not return back to my classroom until January 21. Why? Because I was out for 3.5 months trying to find a diagnosis. Doctors had no idea what was going on. And like I stated in my video, I went to 3 neurologists. The first one didn't take me seriously. The second one told me he had never seen a case like mine in 20 years. The third one was able to give me a diagnosis, which was called FND, which is a functional neurological disorder. So I was still able to function. I just couldn't walk. I couldn't use my legs. I also suffered from short-term memory loss. I did all the tests you could think of. Blood work, EKGs, MRIs, copper tests, you name it, I was doing all of it. But none of the doctors could give me what caused my tremors. None. The one thing my last neurologist said to me was, the good thing about this is you can go back to living a normal life. The problem is we have to find the stressor. And we all know stress, you can take a stress test. It's not going to tell you what's the stressor. So I had to find out what it was. While I was at home doing this, guess what I was trying to do? And I'm guilty, and I know I'm not the only one. I was still trying to show up for my students. I was still trying to log on and go to IEP meetings. I was still trying to go on and attend SST meetings. My parents were still messaging me. I wasn't even in the classroom, but they were still messaging me. The more I still engaged in work, the more and more my tremors would come. Sometimes I would tremor the whole entire day. I said, something has to change. My principal said to me, you know you're not supposed to be on here, but since you're on here, stay for the meeting. Something about that word but, something about that conjunction of but woke me up. As my leader, you know I'm not supposed to be on, but you didn't tell me to get off. That let me know really how much did you value what was going on with me. And I had allowed that because I allowed myself to show up. So you know what I said? I'm not going to show up anymore. I got to find out what's going on with me. So I stopped showing up for those meetings. Let the sub handle it. I stopped logging in. I stopped being everything for my teachers and started being something to me. And when I started doing that, my tremors became less and less, to the point now I have not seen my neurologist in over 3 years. My tremors are gone. My legs were perfectly fine. You would never know I had went through this. I decided that I was a priority, that I needed the balance, and I was going to rest. So I want you to think about yourself. How are you showing up? How are you showing up in your classroom? How are you showing up outside the four walls of your classroom? How are you showing up in your new position outside of the classroom? How are you showing up as a principal? How are you showing up as a coach? How are you showing up at the job that you are if you're not an educator? How are you showing up when people can't see you? When you're not in front of your students' face? Are you constantly exhausted? I was, but it didn't show up on the outside. Are you losing sleep? I could not sleep at night. My students were invading my dreams. I was dreaming about them all the time, and I know I'm not the only one that has had nightmares about their students. They were constantly showing up. Or are you on the other end and you're sleeping more? You find that you are tired all the time, so you just want to go home and you want to go to sleep. Are you irritable? You're normally not an irritable person. You're normally not walking around with an attitude, but every little thing sets you off. Or do you suffer from physical symptoms? The Sunday scaries, headaches, chest pain, stomach aches. I contracted laryngitis and still tried to show up in my classroom and didn't even have a voice. Are you missing out spending time with your family and friends? Do you say, hey, I can't come today because I got to grade papers? I can't come today because I have to write these IEPs. I'm behind. They've stacked up. I got papers I got to grade. They're all the way up to here. These are signs of burnout. These are signs that you need to start. There needs to be a change. There needs to be something going on. These are the symptoms that I had, but I ignored. These are the symptoms that I had before I experienced my tremors, but I ignored them and told myself, hey, you just need to rest. You just need to rest. You need to take a nap. How many of us like, oh, if I just take a nap? But when you take a nap and you wake up, you're more tired than when you went to sleep. Naps weren't doing it, and naps are not doing it for you. I want you to think about the process of moving beyond the classroom. The process that you took or that you will take. You're going to apply for the position. You're going to go on interviews. You're preparing yourself. You get your certifications. You further yourself in your degrees. Like, this is what you are doing to move beyond the classroom, right? Because you're like, oh, I got to get away from these kids. Like, I need a new position. It's my children. It's the parents. I need to do something new. So you do the time and you take the time to do this process. But what about the process of your physical, mental, and emotional? See, we don't prepare for that. We just think if I leave this position, things will get better. But we know if you leave without getting yourself together, if you leave without putting yourself in the proper place, the same things that you did in that classroom will show up in your new position. It just may show up differently. Maybe you're not spending so much time talking to parents, but you're spending all that time dealing with your coworkers' issues. Most teachers, we are reactive instead of proactive. I want you to think about that. We are reactive instead of proactive when it comes to taking care of ourselves. We wait until something has already happened before we actually take care of ourselves. For example, how many of us have showed up to work sick? I have. Guilty. I've showed up to work, I told you earlier, with laryngitis. I showed up to work with a fever. I took some medicine. I'll take some more in about 6 hours so nobody will know. I know I'm not the only one. You showed up to work sick when you know you should have stayed at home. But you found that it's more difficult if you stay at home because those lesson plans you got to write for your subs. You know your students are going to show out because you are not there. They're not going to treat the subs the same way. We're worried about what our coworkers are going to think. Remember, because we're the best educators, so we know how to handle our students and other people cannot. How many of us have been people pleasers? We have no boundaries. They're coming to you because they know that you will say yes. Yes to working Saturday school. Yes to working after school. Yes to working summer school. Yes to being over this committee. Yes to being the chair. They know that you are going to say yes. So they're going to come to you. You have no boundaries with your team, no boundaries with your students. Well, we give our students boundaries, but maybe not boundaries with their parents. Their parents message you all hours of the night. That goes into timeless limits, unrestful. Your parents are messaging you all hours of the night. I had a parent message me one time at 11 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock p.m., and told me, I don't mean to bother you. Yes, you did. Because if you didn't mean to bother me, you would not be bothering me. I didn't respond to him until my contract hours, but I still saw the message pop up on my phone. You have no regard, the audacity to think that you have access to me at all times. How many of us we go through these things, but who are we talking to them about? And this is what I call silent burnout. The outside doesn't match the inside. We're tired. We hate to see those messages pop up. We hate to see those emails. We hate to see messages from certain parents. You didn't care. You did not care. You only worried about your agenda. You wanted your problem to become my problem. And so with my silent burnout, I'm silent. I'm not saying anything to you, but I'm silently burning on the inside. I'm silently experiencing burnout because it didn't show for me. Remember, I told you, it didn't show for me on the outside, but I was feeling everything on the inside. Everything. How many of us have been quiet? Or if we do tell people what's going on, we tell it to our community of teacher friends. Not our community of people outside, our community of teacher friends. That's right, Energizer bunnies. We keep going and going and going and going, and boom, we crash and burn. But a process, I like to call this process the rest process. And it doesn't have to happen in this particular order, but this is when you can help yourself maintain who you are, become a priority, learn to say no, and still show up the best educator that you can. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I do not mind telling my coworkers no. I do not mind telling my principals, no, I will not work summer school. I'm not working it this year. Why? Because I told them no. And I've set that boundary. They know not to come and ask me anymore. If I choose to do it, I will do it. If I choose not to do it, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I know what it cost me. It cost me time. It cost me my finances. It cost me time with my family. It cost me time. So if you need to, please screenshot this, save it for yourself so that you remember, jot yourself down some notes, because I'm going to go into rest and what rest is. So the R in rest that I talk to my clients about is you need to reframe and redefine your mindset. You need to shift from being able to take care of everybody else to being able to take care of you first. We know you cannot pour from an empty cup. We hear that all the time, but it is true. How can you take care of your students? You're not taking care of you. Because if you're not showing up for you as your best, you're not giving your students your best. You think you are, but you really are not. And you're doing yourself a disservice. Your students know when you're sick. Mine did. They would even ask me, these are second graders, why are you here? You're sick. You're sick, Miss Ford Carter. Why are you here? E, empower your mindset. You need to perceive what is right for you. This is when you're doing the growth mindset, not the fixed mindset, not the being in this box as what educators should be, always available, always showing up, always giving our time. No, baby, we're on a growth mindset. I'm learning to say no. I'm learning to leave work at work. I'm learning that I only need to focus on these things, and what doesn't get done doesn't get done. It'll be there tomorrow. Those papers that you didn't grade today, they'll be there tomorrow. Go home. Take care of yourself. Do what you need to do. Self-care. This is when you take your Sabbath, your day of rest. And when I mean rest, I'm not talking about going and just getting your nails done and going and get your feet done. I'm talking about actually resting and not doing anything work related. You're not answering emails. Matter of fact, take the app off your phone. You don't need it. The email will be there on Monday morning. Your parents, let them know. I do not respond to emails after that. I do not respond to your messages after that. You could send it, but I'm not responding. Do check-ins with yourself during your self-care time. How am I feeling today? How did my work week go? How did I show up for myself? But your focus is on you and nothing work related. Still get your nails done. But remember to take your day, your rest, your Sabbath, where you are doing nothing. Let me tell you, if God said he can rest on the seventh day, why can we not rest? And the T, taking action. It's time to set your boundaries. What is that line in the sand that you will not let people cross? What is that line in the sand that is a non-negotiable for you? What is it that you need to let be known? And it's okay if they don't like your boundaries. The boundaries are for the protection of you, not for the protection of them. My parents know, and they're fine with that. I've been doing this for years now, and I tell my parents, hey, after a certain time, I do not respond to your message. I will respond in the morning. You can send it, but I'm not responding. And that phone is on silent. I don't even hear it. And I will respond to you when I get back to you. Why? Because I'm a priority. I have a family as well. What's important to you at that time is not important to me. So if the message is not sent in between my work hours, my life hours are different. My work hours and my life hours are not the same. We have to learn to rest, where we're in the classroom or going beyond the classroom. And there are benefits to the rest. You will have a different mindset. I do not mind telling you no. If I'm not going to do it, no. I don't want to do it. I don't have the time. Now is not a good time for me. Thank you for thinking of me, but no thank you. Rest reduces stress and allows for more productivity. When I tell you I no longer have my tremors, I no longer have my tremors. And I thank you. I have some people on here that worked with me and they saw me. They could tell you. I do not have my tremors. You would have never known. Like I stated before, I have not seen my neurologist in over 3 years. And I do not take any medication. You will physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually feel better. I'm not bogged down by the weight of being a classroom teacher. I'm not bogged down by the weight of grading papers. I'm not bogged down by having to write IEPs or attend SST meetings. I'm not bogged down if my students don't pass. And I know that's hard for us because I've done the work. I've showed up. I've given my best, which includes no and becoming a priority. You're a better educator. You're a better coworker, and you will have peace. I have so much peace now, and you will too. Peace is something that you cannot buy, but it shows something that you can create in your life. Create the peace that you need. Set your boundaries. What is important to you? I want you to take the time this weekend after the conference is over and think to yourself, how am I going to show up differently than I did last year? What are some things that you can change? What are some things that matter to you? Right? The beauty in the rest is that you determine what your rest looks and feels like. It's up to you. It is up to you what your rest is going to look like. It's up to you how you reframe your mindset. It is up to you how you show up for you. It is not dictated by your principal. It is not dictated by your coach, your students. It is up to you. How are you going to show up for you? And the beauty of it, you set it up for you. You set it up for you. The boundaries are for the protection of you. Don't be shocked that you can set it up for yourself. Don't be shocked. You might shock a few people when you start telling them no. You might shock a few people when you say, listen, I'm not doing summer school this year. You might shock a few people when they realize you have set your boundaries. And it's okay. They'll get over it. And if they don't, bye. Get over it. Bye. I hope that I have said, well, first of all, thank you all so much for engaging. I've seen your comments. Thank you all so much for engaging with me. I hope that you have learned something. I hope that you take the rest method and do that for yourself inside of the classroom, beyond the classroom, whatever your next endeavor is but you are showing up for you. I promise you, you'll be a better educator. You'll be a better person. You'll be a better mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, whatever you are in your endeavors, you will be better. You will be so much better. You decide your rest. You can connect with me. Let's connect, right? I am on Instagram. I left off something. I am so sorry. I left off the T, but I'm on Instagram at the educator_coach_T. And I do apologize. I left the T off. But once again, I can be found on Instagram at the educator_coach_T, the letter T. And I'm also on Facebook at Coach T-Educator Coach. And I so thank you for your time. I hope that you walked away with some valuable information. Tell it to another educator. Tell it to another educator. Don't keep all the goodness to yourself, because we all need boundaries. We all need balance, and we all need to rest. Thank you all so much for having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Powerful, guys. Powerful. Burnout will take you up out of here. And I'm glad it kept you here and you learned how to rest, because we need you. We definitely need you. Now, the title of this conference is Leverage Your Life, right? The key word is life. Don't let, burnout take you out, right? You have a story to share. You have lessons to share with everyone, experiences. So thank you so much for that. That's like a teacher's life. And what you pointed out, we don't even know that it's happening. Like you said, you don't look like what you feel like, and that's powerful. That is a powerful thing. And us educators need to recognize that. So I definitely thank you for that. It is now time for your raffle. So let's go back to the registration wheel. And let's spin. And let's see who is the lucky winner.
Hey.
we have Miss Marcia Charles.
All right.
Right, would you let
Yay.
them know what they won?
Yes, so Miss Charles, you have won a 1 hour consultation with me on balance and boundaries. So we sit and we talk about where you would like to have balance and boundaries in your life, whether in the classroom, outside the classroom, wherever you are, so that you can become a priority and so that you can rest.
Awesome. So we will be getting with you. I want to thank you again for that
Thank you.
amazing, powerful speaking. I thought I heard somebody in the back. All right. Awesome. So we're going to keep this party pushing. We're going to continue with our conference. Now, with this amazing book, with amazing project, we have a lot of moving pieces, a lot of people that were a part of this project. So I want to take a moment to recognize our ambassador. So we have an ambassador for our project. And what an ambassador is a person that believes in the vision of the book and wants to support. They may not want to be an author, but they still want to be a part of the project, and they want to help promote and, give out more information about what we're doing here. They also were featured in the book as well, if you were as an ambassador on this project. And we do have an amazing ambassador named Dr. Layla Edwards. So I just wanted to take time out to thank her for being a part of this project. She is the associate director of a TRIO Upward Bound program, serving high school students who are low income, first generation youth. So for an ambassador, I was looking for someone that was still in the education realm, and I came across this young lady. She was excited, and I'm so grateful to have her be a part of this project. So if you haven't gotten the book already, I'm gonna share 2 tidbits from her selection in the book. One of them is leadership skills. In order to be a TRIO Upward Bound associate director, you need leadership skills to support your students' academics. You also need strong communication skills for building relationships. Now, she is not only limited to the classroom. So, of course, we're going beyond the classroom. So she is also a business owner and CEO of Seek Legacy Now, LLC, as an educational consulting. So I definitely thank you so much, Dr. Edwards. Next, a part of this project, we also had business owners, right? That also is a part of the project. They're entered into the book. And I wanted business owners that, again, wanted to support the message, wanted to support the mission behind this project, had a passion for helping educators, and wanted to promote their business. So you'll see their commercials coming up. But I just wanted to thank Family First Designs, Martina Britt Yelverton. I wanted to thank Coaching to Excellence, LLC, Dr. Carla Kapman. I want to thank New Highlights Capital Group, Karesha Rainey. I also want to thank Tanisha Taylor Consulting, Miss Tanisha Taylor, and BJ Legacies Unlimited, Miss Bashana Jones. So you'll definitely see their commercials coming forth. So at this time, we're going to bring up our first business commercial, Miss Karesha Rainey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Karesha Rainey. My mission is to encourage you, inform you, and give you the gentle nudge you need in order to pursue your goals and your dreams. Now, we're talking about DNA paternity testing services. So I am the proud owner of Newer Heights DNA. And what in the world does that mean for you? That means that you have access to get that child and yourself tested to make sure that you're leaving a legacy for the right person. Okay, so that is important, that you leave your hard-earned legacy, whether it be money, whether it be time, attention, whether it be that good old recipe that grandma left you that you're going to pass down to the next generation. It's important that you have the right person that you're leaving that legacy to. So, Karesha Rainey, my mission again is to encourage you, inform you, and give you the gentle nudge you need in order to pursue your goals and your dreams. And in this instance, it is to make sure that you're leaving a legacy for the right person.
All right. I thank you again. And now for the main event, our amazing co-authors. So this project could not have been done without them. So it is now time to bring them up to the stage. Now, keep in mind that if you have registered and you have access to our conference, you also have access to our authors. So what I want you to do is put any questions in the comments below. We are monitoring those. So make sure you put your questions, because you will have a chance to ask our authors a little bit later in our conference. So make sure you're putting those questions in the chat for me. So at this time, I would love to bring up I'm going to go by their titles in the book, and I'll speak more about that once they come up. Our principal, Miss Anish J. Grimes, and our entrepreneur, Miss Anita. Their titles in the book, and I'll speak more about that. Hello, hello. Principal.
Hello.
How are you? I know Anish is physically hosting her conference as well as virtually. So, Anish, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and your title, the principal?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am so excited to be here today. My name is Anish Grimes. I am a principal here in Akron, Ohio. I've been in education for 25 years, and I'm super excited just to be here and all the things.
Well, we're so excited to have you here. Miss Anita, would you care to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you and the entrepreneur.
Hi, I'm Anita Dawkins. I had decided to, after hearing all the conversation about being burnt out, I had decided to branch out and start my own business, GFFES LLC, in which we're under construction, but currently serving as a UPS courier service to deliver packages on the East Coast of the United States. And it's going pretty good.
That's good. So in our book, the table of contents is specified based on these amazing positions that we have. So going with the idea beyond the classroom, they went beyond the four walls. So they're still in education, but they're not a classroom teacher. So with that being said, Anish, what part of your chapter resonated with you the most? They went beyond the four walls. So they're still in education, but they're not a classroom teacher. So with that being said, Anish,
sorry, I'm multitasking, you guys. Okay, so I am, when I wrote the book or helped in the chapter, I think my biggest thing was just having the reality that I needed to do more. I wanted more, and the desire to have to continue within my degree. But I wanted to just kind of seek out more and find other ways to impact students, teachers, staff. So that's why I decided to leave the classroom and go into being a principal.
Awesome. And Miss Anita, would you like to tell us your testimony of the entire journey?
Okay, embracing opportunities, that's a key factor to growth and fulfillment. And in February 2024, I embarked on this journey. I never anticipated becoming a published author. And with unwavering faith, I joined the forces with remarkable women visionaries and game changers, Stephanie, Shanine, Martina. I thank you so much for this contribution that I made to the book, To Teach or Not to Teach Beyond the Classroom, Volume 3. After confined years of being in the classroom, I've just completed year 25. I will be going back as a first grade teacher in the fall. My passions lay dormant. However, with the collaboration, it reignited fire within me. It reminded me of my voice, allowing me to share my struggles, my pain, my passions, and my deepest desires with others. And that this experience propelled me out of my comfort zone, urging me to embrace social media, which is something I was totally against. It helped me amplify my voice and share my book with the world. And the path to authorship, you all made it easy. And I thank you all for that. It has been nothing but short of extraordinary. And I really find it to be breathtaking, a new life into my journey, empowering me to reach new heights, new goals. And this journey is my testament to the transformative powers of seizing opportunities. It's very important to seize opportunities when they present themselves. It helped me find my voice, sharing my story with the world. And I plan to keep shining bright on this amazing path of self-impressment, self-empowerment, and I will be forever grateful for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. I am so grateful to have you guys. At this time, I'm going to bring up two more of our amazing co-authors. We have Miss Eve Deneen Slaughter as the literacy specialist, and we also have Miss LaQuinda Johnson, our government contractor. Hello, hello, ladies.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Good to see you guys. Well, Eve, would you like to take time to introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. Good morning, audience, near and far and all across. My name is Eve Deneen Brownlee Slaughter. I am an educator, a career educator. I come from a family of educators. I like to tell the story that people in my family have done the work of educating children since the 1930s and 40s, not just in Tennessee, but in Alabama and Mississippi. And so I fell into the footsteps of my grandmother told me when I was 5, you're going to be a reading teacher like me. And that's exactly what I did. I'm a wife and a mom of 2 elementary age children, and I'm grateful to be here this morning.
Thank you. Grateful to have you, Quinn.
Yes. Hello. Hello, family. My name is LaQuinda Johnson. I am a homeschooling mother. I am an educator. I am an author, public speaker. That's a little bit about me.
All right. Awesome. And welcome, welcome. So, Eve, what advice do you have for someone looking to go beyond the classroom?
If you are looking to go beyond the classroom, I would start with determining what lane you want to work in. There are so many things that educators can do, from instructional design to coaching. You can coach teachers, you can coach leaders, you can be an interventionist. What do you want to do? And what are you good at? So my grandmother told me I was going to be a reading teacher. My godmother made me go help children learn how to read, right? I was 16. And I figured out, oh, I'm really good at teaching kids how to read. I tried to teach math for a little while, and I still do teach math sometimes, but I am a reading teacher. I'm really good at teaching kids how to read. I'm even better at teaching teachers how to teach kids how to read. And so once you figure out who you are in this education sector, develop yourself in that line. I became a licensed reading specialist. I was one of 3 Black women in the first cohort of Memphis Literacy Institute. I pursue my EDS to become a leader, to refine my leadership abilities. Anytime I see a leadership development cohort, I'm applying. I've been in so many programs and things. My family says that I'm a career educator. They are accustomed to me randomly announcing, I'm going back to school. I got into a new program. They are so used to me saying those things. But it's because I want to become better. I want to be better. I want to know more. I want to learn more, and I want to refine my craft. So if there's something that, if you want to go beyond the classroom, my best advice is to refine who you are and what you know. Because once you know it, no matter what restructuring happens, no matter what job cuts happen, if you know it and you have some licenses and papers behind your name, as my daddy would have said, can't nobody take it from you. So that's my biggest piece of advice. Develop yourself, know who you are, work in that lane, and become the guru in that lane.
Powerful, powerful. LaQuinda, what do you currently do as a profession, and how has this project assisted you with your goals?
Yes. As a profession, I am the CEO and founder of LaQuinda Enterprise. As an international educational consultant and government contractor, I specialize in various innovative educational services that offer innovative solutions that will empower and equip our educational ambassadors. I am also, as I mentioned earlier, a homeschooling mom and a speaker and an author. I think there was a second part of your question that you asked me. Was that correct?
Yes. How has this project assisted with your goals?
So this project has significantly advanced my goals of transcribing my story to help others on this journey. It has allowed me to connect with a diverse group of educators and stakeholders and foster collaboration and sharing of best practices. Overall, it has been instrumental in furthering my mission to improve educational outcomes on a global scale.
Amazing. So now we're going to have our discussion, right? How it all started. So if I can get all of our authors, well, not all of them, just Anish and Anita. We're going to bring everybody up soon. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. But first, I want to brag on these amazing co-authors because the next raffle that we are having is for those who have purchased a book. Okay. These amazing authors began pre-selling and they did above and beyond the goals of the actual project. So when we get to do we have everyone up? When we get to our registrants, I want to reveal how many, as a collective, books have been sold. Just these four. Okay, just these four. So let's go here. Okay, can you guys see my screen okay? All right, so just these four, they were able to sell over 150 books, guys, over 150. So Shanine was speaking how, this young lady walked into an airport and, before the book was even there, she had all these sales. Well, that's what these amazing authors have done as well. So congrats to you, ladies, and let's go ahead and find our winner. So this raffle are for those who actually purchased our book from one of our co-authors. And our winner is Samantha Wade. Congratulations. So let me explain what you have won. So in this raffle, this prize is a $25 restaurant card. So you'll get a $25 restaurant.com card in which you can use at any participating restaurants in your area. So it's not limited to just one thing. You can use it at all participating restaurants. So shout outs to you, Miss Wade, and I'll be getting with you after this. So congratulations. So now let's talk about the conversation that sparked it all. So what I would like to know, and we can go in order, Anish, Anita, Eve, and then Quinn, on the to teach or not to teach spectrum, what side are you on? Are you for staying in the classroom? Are you for leaving the classroom? What is your opinion on to teach or not to teach? Starting with Anish. Staying in the classroom or for leaving the classroom? What is your
So for me, sorry, you guys. So for me, I decided to leave the classroom, but I didn't leave it fully or completely. I am still a principal in the middle school setting. And so I still get to switch. My students are now my teachers. So they're my new classroom. So I'm super excited about that.
Nice. Anita?
Okay, for me, it's a little different. I love being in the classroom. I still don't want to tiptoe out sometimes, but I enjoy being with the children. So year 25, I'm still gung-ho about being in the classroom. But on the side, or when I'm ready to step out of the classroom, I will be prepared because I have my own business that I'm doing and it's under construction still, but we have a beginning start. So whenever I feel like it's time for me to go, I will have me a place to go and I'll be working for myself. And also becoming a published author. I feel within inside of me, I have more books that I want. I always had a dream of being a children's author. So I have a book I'm pulling out of the archives, and I plan on connecting with Shanine, and we're going to get some things going. So you have to have more than just one thing going on for yourself. And that's through my journey that I've been through, because I never want to feel that I am stuck in one job. Have multiple streams of opportunities to take advantage of.
Absolutely. Eve?
I am a little bit beyond the classroom, but not really. A lot of my work, and I was thrust back into the classroom in January full time. I taught fourth grade reading as the principal and network literacy leader. Talk about burnout, right? But I am a little bit beyond the classroom in that my expertise would benefit teachers and leaders and people doing the work with the children. But to keep up on my craft, I'm always working with kids. And that's the work that my nonprofit does. We provide free tutoring to students in Memphis, specifically around foundational literacy and math. But I'm always working with some children. I've created classrooms in my home, at church. And so I'm a little bit in the middle where I am beyond the classroom professionally, but personally, I'm still working with kids and teaching kids and all of those good things.
All right. And Quinn?
I am beyond the classroom. As a classroom teacher, 13 years, stepped outside, and with being an educational consultant, I am beyond the classroom, still offering services within the educational space, public, private, homeschooling sector. I am an advocate as it relates to just my journey in education. So as a result, I am still advocating for our scholars, our children. So therefore, but from that perspective, I am beyond the classroom, innovative practices outside of the classroom. Yes.
Nice. So I like the mixture of in the classroom, beyond the classroom. So I want to thank you, ladies, again. I'm going to bring you back up in a little bit. At this time, we're going to hear from another business sponsor, Miss Tanisha Taylor. And when we return, we will return with the second half of our amazing authors. All right. Thank you again. So we are back. We're going to continue with our amazing co-authors. So at this time, I would like to bring up Mr. Christopher Razor, the climate coach, Miss Shannel Williams, the work-based learning coach, and Miss Takia Gaither, the editor. Hello, hello.
Good morning. Good morning. So happy and excited to be here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Christopher, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about you?
Absolutely. So once again, good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Razor. I'm currently in Baltimore, Maryland. However, I was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio, OH. I am a dedicated educational professional with a strong background in teaching, program management, and policy advising. Most importantly, though, I am committed to fostering student success and community engagement through equitable social emotional practices. Currently, I serve as a climate coach through Baltimore City Public Schools, where I support a number of different schools with all things climate and culture. So how are we reducing suspensions, increasing attendance, and making sure students, parents, families, and community stakeholders all feel valued, seen, and heard? I'm excited to be here.
Amazing. Excited to have you, Shannel.
Hi. So I am a special education teacher. I'm an educator for over almost 15 years. I'm originally from the lovely and beautiful island of Barbados. In addition to being a special educator, I was also fortunate to be trained as a work-based learning coordinator, and I'll talk to you guys a bit more of how this book has allowed me to leverage my skills outside of the classroom.
Good morning, everybody. Excuse the background noise. I am at church at dance practice with my children. So at any given moment, you might hear bass, you may hear a whole choir. Apparently, I am in the romper room for all the kids that are not dancing. And so that's all of that. But I am Takia Gaither. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a middle school mathematics teacher. Also editor, book formatter, all things books, build a web page here and there, all of those types of things. And I'm just excited to be here this morning.
I'm delighted to have all of you guys as always. So let's start with you, Christopher. What has this project done for you as far as your future pursuits?
Man, so if you read the book, you'll know, but I am currently in a PhD program. I'm in my third year, so I am in the thick of thesis writing, and so writing a book has definitely helped expand both my abilities to write as well as my thinking process. I've also been blessed enough to begin my public speaking component of who I would like to be moving forward. But then finally, you all have noticed that I'm the only male co-author. So without giving too much of a tease, I am very much interested in writing the next book for both myself and possibly the To Teach or Not to Teach movement with the male perspective. We'll see how that goes. Keep your eyes peeled, y'all.
That sounds awesome. Well, Shannel, why should people join the next project?
I think that this project really signifies what collaboration and teamwork can do for individuals. It was a great experience for me, being the type of person I am, having all these skills, but not really being able to zero in or say which direction I should go into. So with this project, I was able to not only stay in the classroom, but venture out. So now I'm not only a book author, but I also have some more book projects planned, and hopefully going to pull Christopher into one of the projects as well. I have started doing podcasts, and I launched my own educational consultancy firm because in the thick of the pandemic, when parents and teachers were having problems, myself and some of my other colleagues sat down and created some programs. And so I decided, you know what? Instead of doing things for free, why not leverage my skills and also work towards getting those monies for my freedom number, so the money that I need and the money that I want to live a financially successful life. So this book, I think, and this project or a project like this is good not only for teachers, but any professional that is looking to zero in on their skills leverage their skills, build financial success, build financial wealth. Start here and start today.
Thank you. And Takia, what part of this journey was the most impactful?
The most impactful part was actually meeting all of the co-authors. And so, looking at talking to Christopher and finding out, yeah, I'm in finishing up my doctoral program. I'm like, oh man, now I need to go finish my degree. So that was the the light under my fire to do that. Watching Shannel and Anish and somebody else that was just constantly posting and constantly posting and constantly posting, reminding me that that's stuff that I should have been doing. I just don't. But it was just a little bit of fire I needed to get back in gear and do the things that I needed to do. Yes, that's exactly it. Positive pressure. Um, to just get back on my game, do the things I need to do because beyond the classroom or not, it spills over. So what you do in the room, you're going to do out the room. And so if I'm consistent as an entrepreneur, I got to show up consistent as Takia, the teacher, when I walk in my classroom every day, and vice versa. I can't. Everything has to get what I'm going to give to it. So if it's the 100 on one space, it's going to be the 100 on the other. There is no such thing as 50-50. I'm either all in or I'm not. And so that was my biggest takeaway from this project that I'm carrying with me into the summer and next year and everywhere else.
Well, that's awesome. I don't know if you guys are listening, but they are dropping some gems. All right. So I hope you have your notebook. You're getting down there contact information because this is why they are a part of this project. The amount of inspiration and education from all of my authors really propelled this book in a way that I didn't even see. Right. So with that being said, I'm going to brag on these authors as well, because during pre-sales, they was knocking it out as well. So with that being said, we're going to move into our next raffle. And this raffle is for the ones that have purchased the book. So if you want to know more information about my authors, you want to know, specifically what is a climate coach? What skills do I need to be a literacy specialist? Make sure that you get the book, all right? So you can find out what you need to do to get to where these authors are. So let's go ahead and spin. And we are going to brag on the 68 copies sold.
Hey, let's go, Rissa!
Larissa McNeil, you have just won a $25 restaurant card that you can use anywhere in your local area, any participating restaurant. So let me just get you down to make sure you get your prize. And now let's have some words with our author. Let's talk about this initial conversation. To teach or not to teach? Christopher, that is the question. What is your answer?
Man, so very similar to my fellow co-author Eve, I'm kind of on the fence. I keep going back and forth. I have served as a dean of students, but I've also served very recently as a fifth and sixth grade math teacher. I saw it in the chat, so I am going to brag about myself. I've been international. I taught for 2 years in South Korea. That's where I crossed the best fraternity in the world, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Go mob to the bros. Currently, again, as a climate coach, being involved in schools, I think is so very much important, whether or not you're in the classroom or not. I am a firm believer that academics cannot be taught without also considering social emotional practices, making sure that we are understanding how students are showing up, making sure we are cognitive of the needs of students outside of academics is pivotal in order to teach them, right? I mean, let's be honest, we are all very much experienced and very gifted as teachers. We can teach anybody anything, right? However, if we are not taking the moment to actually see who these students are, where they're coming from, what their families are like, what their neighborhoods are like, what their lived experiences are like, we are doing not only them a disservice, but we're doing ourselves a disservice as well. So I would say, if you want to be in the classroom, do it wholeheartedly, have the passion for it. However, there are so many other opportunities outside of the classroom to also be just as impactful.
Awesome. Shannel.
So I'm kind of on the fence. In a perfect world, I wish I could do both, but I've really come to realize that my impact extends to beyond the four walls of the classroom. And my passion for teaching has evolved into a passion for really inspiring and empowering others. And so, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking, whether it's mentoring, I will be in the educational field, but I'm not sure where I'll land.
All right. And Takia.
So, admittedly, I thought that the answer was not to teach up until this past August. And so during the pandemic, I said, I'm done. I'm retiring. That is it. I didn't hit close to my 20. This is deuces. I am out. And so I took off 2.5 years, and literally August, like July 31st of last summer, the Lord said, "No, you're going back." And I was like, "You serious, God? Like, you told me to come out. Like, I'm really going back." He was like, "Yeah, you're going back." Went to church Sunday. The pastor confirmed it. Went to a job fair that Monday, got hired. And so I am 100% back in. And so when it came down to what to do with my business, he was like, "Oh, I didn't say stop doing that. So you're both and." So I am in and out the classroom, because at the end of the day, regardless of where you put me, like Christopher said, I'm going to teach something. I'm gonna teach you how to write a book. I'm gonna teach in the books that I write. I'm gonna teach you math. I'm gonna teach you computer science. I'm gonna teach you whatever it is I know, because that's what I'm here to do. So I'm both. I'm beyond and I'm in and I'm out and I'm all around a classroom.
Awesome. All around, in and out, on the sides. I love it. I love it. That's good educating, good educators right there. We don't truly give it up. We're close by it. We're really close to the classroom. So I want to thank you again. And at this time, I want to bring up all of my co-authors. We're going to keep this party pushing, keep this conference moving. I know these 2 hours are going by like this, but we have a little bit more information for you guys. But before we get to that, I wanted our amazing co-authors to come up, and there is a little black package that they have, and they were told not to touch it. I know some of our authors don't have it with them, but it will be at the location when you get back. But I have a surprise for all my authors, because this has truly been an amazing journey for me to see my idea realized, right? It started with an idea. It started with just a thought of, hey, I want to show the value of educators. I want to show and highlight that we not only wear many hats, that we are successful in these hats, and that there could be another position that we are better slated for. I may be an awesome teacher, but I could be an even better principal, or even work literacy coach, right? So just finding that passion. So at this time, I would like my authors to open that black package, if you would. Open that black package. Take your time. Don't cut yourself. And I'll just wait for you guys to open it. Make sure you show the people. So in these packages, and for my authors that don't have them yet, you have your own personal EPK, which is an electronic press kit. So you can put that anywhere, use it. I'm a big component of ownership, business ownership. Now you have your business resume. Every single one of my authors have a business resume. It not only has their bio on it, it has their picture, and it also has their book cover. So that is my gift to you guys. I hope you guys like it. And Martina, Shanine is on there too. I don't know if you could bring her up. Did she open? I was gonna say she got a package too. My author coach, I want to thank you as well for being instrumental in this project. So you have one as well, so you can open yours, because yours is a little bit different. Your layout is a little bit different than everyone else's, but you can use that with you for all your endeavors. So thank you guys. That's my surprise to you. Now, let's keep going on to this conference. So now, guys, it is your opportunity to guess. All of our guests, it is your opportunity to talk to the amazing authors. So we will be asking them questions. If you have any other questions, please put them in the chat for us so we can definitely ask our authors. But now it is time for our authors to shine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pose the question. I don't think it's like Zoom where you can raise your hand. So go ahead and just jump in. I will ask about one or two to answer per question so we can just keep the questions and the conference moving and we don't keep you guys for hours. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. So our first question is, what inspired you to do more than teaching? What inspired you to do more than teaching?
I don't mind jumping in. I saw Shannel's hand. Go ahead, Shannel.
For me, it was about understanding the system, the game, and my worth. So I experienced a situation whereby um, I was doing a program, and so in a school, and an outside organization came in that had the same program, word for word, verbatim, and it was a situation where we teachers know that if you're in a school and you come up with a program, most you get sometimes is per session, and I was made aware of the amount of money that this organization was paid. And I say to myself, well, I would have to be, stupid or a little slow to continue to give out my expertise like this and not get the rewards for it. So Christopher, go ahead.
Sure, absolutely. Um, there were always individuals in my life, in my village, who spoke life into me, who encouraged me, who motivated me, who tapped me when I needed to be tapped. Let's be honest, we the culture. And so I knew I wanted to do that same thing for future generations. Once again, as a Black male who has been fortunate enough to have obtained multiple degrees, who has been blessed to travel the world, I want to make sure that other Black boys feel like they have those same opportunities. And so it's amazing to be able to write that down on paper and leave a legacy in print for future generations to go back and look at as a guide.
Nice. Now, what do you foresee to be the biggest challenge with your expansion or transitioning? So, some of you are expanding businesses based on this project, and some of you guys are transitioning, meaning you started something because of this process. So, what is your biggest challenge that you can foresee in that process?
Aga. Balance. Um, Coach T talked about being balanced and almost getting rest and being okay with saying no. I've juggled a lot of different hats for a very long time. And in this expansion, I remember working on some edits with my eyes half closed, and my husband was like, "No, just go to bed. You can do this tomorrow." And I was like, "No, I have to do it right now." Sometimes you have to tell yourself no, and you have to create balance for yourself so that you don't cause yourself to burn out. Um, it's Blues Saturday, y'all. I'm a southerner, sorry. And they say, you got too many irons in the fire. Take some irons out the fire and just get good at the things that you need to be good at.
Some Quinn.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And adding in setting self care for yourself. It is very imperative to set, as far as a pain point or a challenge, making sure that I take care of self. So there are boundaries that I have established for myself where I say, okay, weekends, shut everything down. That's my self-care days. And then throughout the week, I have a self-care day where I just do as I please. If I want to go see to the movies, if I want to go, since I'm in Florida now, lay out on the beach, I can. I can do as I please because that is officially my self-care day for myself. So setting those boundaries as well.
Nice. Now, the project that we are a part of is a self-publishing event, right? So the question is, why did you choose to self-publish and not go with a publishing company? Or do you wish you would prefer to go to a publishing company versus through this journey that you guys went? Go ahead, Takia.
As the co-authors know, this is not my first anthology. This is probably about number 12 or 13. And I just added on two more. But all of them have been through the self-publishing format. But what I found out with traditional publishers is that there's a whole lot of red tape to go through before you can get your book out into the world. Um, there's red tape, you pay some fees up front, and then the residual to get them back takes a whole lot longer than what you may initially believe versus self-publishing where you pay a little more upfront, but once you start getting it back, it's yours for the most part. I mean, everybody has whatever their feelings are about the distributors and the cuts you get back or whatever, but the fact remains is it's your money. You get it when you get it, and you get it how you get it. And so marketing wise, I would have loved to been with a traditional publisher because they do all of that. I'm not a marketer. I forget to post on social media. Like the whole time we were doing this thing, I was staying in chat like, oh man, we were supposed to do that today because I just don't think about it. Um, but the reality is, when you take on self-publishing, you choose to do all the things. And so if you feel up to the challenge to do all the things, go for it. If you don't feel like you can do them, get your pennies together, get your followers up, see what you can do, and take the traditional route. That's the best advice I can give to anybody that wants to hit these off the streets. I also do not recommend maybe doing 10 back to back, but that was God's idea. I'm not, but it worked.
Yes, she is well versed in publishing. She has several. I'm trying to get like her. So this is going to be the last question for the panel, and then I'm going to speak to you guys individual. So the last question is, what advice would you give to those that would want to follow their passions, and what is the greatest obstacle they would have to overcome? Go ahead.
All right. So I think the best advice I would give anyone is to do it afraid. Just do it. Branch out there. You'll get everything that you need in order to be successful. It'll just step into place. And you had another question. But yeah.
Greatest obstacle to overcome.
Oh, the greatest obstacle is myself and not being afraid of me. That was my biggest obstacle and still is. But push and keep pushing.
Love it. Shannel?
I was going to say you have to figure out first the type of life you want to live and go after it. And like Anish said, go unafraid. A lot of times we operate in fear, and therefore, if we believe in ourselves, just like we believe in our students, and we push our students, and we organize our lives, and we organize the way we want to live, anything is achievable.
Awesome. Well, guys, I want you to now let us know what is next for you. So we're gonna go. I don't know if you can see it like I see it. We're just gonna go Chris, Shannel, Anita, Quinn. We're just gonna go that way. What is next? How can people contact you? And final thoughts.
Absolutely. So definitely connect with me on IG and Facebook. I know the new generation says Facebook is for old people, but I'm still on there, y'all. So connect with me on there. Look forward to hearing and seeing more about my thesis and dissertation. Y'all pray for me as we continue to write. And, just link up, communicate with me. You never know what I might have. Actually, there's a podcast that I'm going to post as soon as this conference is over. There's a magazine article that was just published in. Like, all things are out there, y'all. Tap in.
Awesome, Shannel.
For me, as I said, I launched my educational consultancy company. Currently, what we are doing is training and mentoring teachers that are taking their certification tests. All I have also branched out to work with other professionals. So right now we are training and mentoring persons in the cosmetology field. We're looking to also do it in health, psychology, and law as well. In addition to my consultancy firm, I mentioned that, I have a couple book projects um, on the calendar right now that I will be working with not only Christopher, but like minded teachers. And also, I have another project which deals with a challenge which is very close to my heart. Um, because unfortunately in 2020 my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so I'll be doing some work around Alzheimer's and Alzheimer's care and so on. um, this book has opened up many opportunities, so um, podcasts, interviews. I was just featured in the Black Women's magazine as well. I have another couple other podcasts coming up, television interviews, and so on. So just doing multiple things, just doing things for fun, just doing things that educate others, and just trying to get everyone to go after and to reach for their dreams.
Awesome, Anita.
Hey everyone, you can reach out to me and find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I have a strong will to continue being in the classroom, looking for other opportunities, possibly being like Chris and teach internationally. I've done professional development in Belize and in Costa Rica, missionary work in Cozumel. So I have a strong interest in doing things outside of the country. So we'll see if those come into fruition for me as well. And I'm going to continue pursuing my dream of being, well, already the dream already came true, being an author is becoming a children's author. So we're going to see how those things work out for me. And again, appreciate this opportunity. You all have been the best platform ever for me to become a published author. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Quinn.
Alrighty, you can connect with me via Facebook and Instagram, Lady Quinn Enterprise. Instead of the Y, it's an I. Just so that you know, I am scheduling discovery calls as it relates to leveraging your skills beyond the classroom in the sector of homeschooling. If you're interested in homeschooling, if you're interested in government contracting, that is one element or one aspect under educational consulting, offering various educational services from tutoring to workshops, professional development, coaching, you name it. We are continuing our services with educating or empowering our educational ambassadors, as I like to call them. Also, if you're on my page, you will see that I am a part of various podcasts, featured on various podcasts based on just the area or the skills that I have leveraged outside of the classroom or beyond the classroom. And that is ultimately it for me.
Awesome, Takia.
All right. So, the myth of being a teacher is that you have the summer off. You absolutely do not. You just find something else to do with your life and your time for 2.5 months before you're back in your classroom. And so, my summer is eat, sleep, write, and edit, and repeat. And so after this project, I'm on two more anthologies. One drops in July, one drops in August. In between, I'll be editing some other projects. Got the bright idea a couple days ago to work in a children's book that I'm trying to have done before August. So y'all pray for me. We'll see how that goes. And on top of that, I'm getting ready to get back on track to be Dr. Gaither. Thank you, Kristen. And so me and Morgan will be going together real hard come August so I can finish my degree in math education and change the state of the way that we teach mathematics to our children because I absolutely do not like it, especially our black and brown children in these urban school systems. It grinds my gears to no end. And so the only way to fix it is to be Dr. Gaither, and then I can tell some people what to do and they'll listen because it says doctor in front of it. So that's what I'm doing.
Anish?
So my next endeavors, hopefully I can do some conferences for parents, maybe another book or so, getting on some podcasts, things like that, just to better educate our village, as Chris said, and a community, because we need to know more as an African American community as well as parents when your students are identified with disabilities. You can reach me on IG, Instagram at AJ Grimes, Facebook at Anish Grimes, and I'm also on Twitter as AP Anish. So that's how you can reach me.
All right, and Eve.
Okay, so yesterday I submitted my application for the doctoral program at Arkansas State University. So another doctor might be in the making. We'll see. I don't know. I told my family Father's Day, I'm going to finish this application. I'm applying for school. And my father-in-law said, but I thought the last program that I helped pay for was the last program, and we all fell out laughing. So I'm definitely doing that. I am still doing the work that I started when I was 16 years old at the ESPN Academy located in Memphis, Tennessee. So parents who need support, find me. I'm on all social media platforms: Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X, formerly Twitter. Beyond being a literacy coach, remember I said whatever lane you get in, learn all you can in that lane. So I'll be stepping not away from literacy, so to speak, but I'm going to be learning a new thing, and that is international baccalaureate work in my new position at a local middle school. So middle school folk, I'll be calling you because I tend to steer away from those folk in the middle grades. Um, and so I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited to be a part of this work. Thank you to my soror, Stephanie J. Sanders. Shout out to the Sigma Gamma Rho International Sorority Incorporated on this June 22nd, 2024. Sorry, y'all. It's our sisterhood day. You know how it goes. So thank you all so much. I've learned so much from all of you all, and it has been a true blessing to step into this space and do this work. Because who knew I was gonna write a book, but the Lord knew.
Sure did.
Come on, doctors. Look at all them doctors' names. Come on, doctor.
Well, I thank you guys for all of your efforts in this project, all of your personality. You have made this project amazing. And it's going to lead me to my big announcement at the end, but you guys are integral in that announcement. And it's just been fun. It's been fun. Yes, every day is not roses and sunflowers, but their personalities, the information that they have, it just blows you away. When I did those interviews with these guys, just to find out even more that I didn't know about them, international working, international authors, all the way from Japan to Barbados. That's where the book is. Could be in other countries in between, but that's all I know of right now. So it's just been an amazing journey. And I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Martina for bringing all my ideas to life. Everything that you see, Martina Britt Yelverton put it together graphically. So shout outs to you, to my author coach. Thank you so much for everything, getting me to this point, giving me the ability to be an author. So I just wanted to say my thank yous now. Now we do have a little bit more left of the conference. So I don't want to keep everyone. I know it said 12 o'clock, but if you can give me 20 more minutes, 20 more minutes, I promise you it will be well worth it. We will have one last raffle. So don't forget, don't leave. You know, we do have one more raffle that I want to give away. But before we get there, we have one more speaker that I want you guys to hear from. Now, we heard from some powerful speakers. This person is on the team. She makes all my ideas come to life. She is the brand master and have been for in my life, my brand master for the duration of my whole entire brand, which is ever since 2019. So everything that you see graphically is this amazing lady named Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton is a 9-time, I'm trying to get like my bestie here, 9-time published author, a legacy builder coach, and an always be marketing you visionary. Her daily goal is to brand you, educate you, and help you get your assets in order. She has been featured in Voice of Change magazine, the Tap In magazine, both transformational coaches and powerhouse speaker dominating 2023, a SpeakerCon 2021 featured speaker, and is the creator of Family First Designs, a brand new agency helping struggling entrepreneurs visualize and organize a simplified brand to generate them influence, impact, and increase. I would like to introduce to you guys the brand master, Martina Britt Yelverton.
You guys were all jamming with me on that. Thank you so much, Stephanie J. Sanders, my duo, my bestie, and all of you authors on today. This has been absolutely amazing for me to witness, for me to be a part of, for me to see and hear all of your visions come to life, not only in the manuscript, but to watch you guys flourish on the screens. I hope you guys realize and recognize that the vision that you guys have had really just manifested. And yes, Shanine, I hope you all were in the backstage jamming with me. I promise you guys, today has been monumental for the authors. Today has been monumental for the keynote, the author coach, and the visionary. But truly, it's been monumental for those people who have been watching you guys share your voice, share your vision, and share your value. And I hope you guys are taking an opportunity to pat yourselves on the back, to give yourself a snap, a hand clap, a bow. Literally, make sure that you guys honor yourselves, okay? Because truly, you heard everyone say on one level or another, and these are just my words of encouragement. You heard yourselves mention on one level or another, you guys started with a vision. All right. Our Arthur coach started with a vision, and it manifested over and over and over and over and over again. You heard the visionary say it started with not just one book, her to teach or not to teach book, but then she was able, let me take that label off there. It was able to come from here into her thinking, what else can I give the people? I can help them to go outside and beyond the classroom into her second manuscript, and then to turn around and then be a part of her third manuscript here on Beyond the Classroom. It all started with a vision. Okay. It all started with a thought. All right. And we share a mentor who says if you can hold it in your head, you can have it in your hand. Guys, you all have it in your hands. You have it in your hands. And if you are still here and you don't yet have it in your hands, it's coming. It's on the way, right? Stay the course now that you can vision it. And even if some of you can't, do a quick exercise with me. I need everybody who's watching this, if you're not driving, everyone who is watching this, if you're not driving, all of you in the backstage, I need you to close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes. I'm peeking. Are your eyes closed? Close your eyes and breathe for a moment. And I need for you all to go back to a moment in time that was 100% about you. Grasp that vision in your head. Hold on to it. Think about it. I'm looking in the backstage and I see some of you smiling. Wasn't that a good time? When it was just you, you did that thing. Hold that vision in your head. Rest in that. And only that. And I want you guys to bring that to the right now. And every single time you doubt, go back to that moment, rest in that moment, and bring that moment to the right now. Because if it felt good, then your subconscious will bring that feeling to the right now. Come back with me. I know it was good. Y'all still back there just smiling and thinking. Take that vision. Take that vision. Take that moment. Bring it to the right now every single time that you have a moment of doubt. That vision is important. It will propel you forward. All right? Now, when you take that vision, right, and you pair it with something that you do effortlessly, without any hardship, that is your passion. That is your purpose. That thing that people are constantly asking you about, how do you do that? How did you get into government contracting? How do you tolerate homeschooling? How do you come from teacher burnout and say no? And it was easy for you to instruct them, to educate them, to coach them. How do you even begin creating a journal? How do you get your finances in order? And it's an ease for you. That is your purpose. That is your passion. How do you navigate and become a climate coach? How do you become an entrepreneur? And I'm going to forget somebody's chapter title, but think about it, guys. When people come to you and they ask you, how do you do that? And you can tell them with ease, that's your value. That is your value. That is your purpose. Something that someone else struggles with that you do with ease, right? Your vision for where you want to go. And I forgot which one of our authors said that. I want to say it was Shannel. The vision for where you want to go. Think about why you're doing what you're doing. Pair that with what you are good at. That's your value. And then go out and shout it from the mountaintops in these internet streets, online, offline. I'm telling you, when you take the pairing, as the Myron Golden says, when you take the intersection of your purpose and you pair it even with a process, okay, golden. Go out and use your voice to do that, right? Someone somewhere is waiting for you to do what you were passionate and purposed to do so that they can see that they can do it too. That's why your voice is important. So your voice is important in word, online, offline. Your voice is important in your seed, those you birth and those that you give birth to. All right. It's important. I need for you guys to really focus from here forward on what we've been able to do today. Shanine and Stephanie had a vision. They had a thought. They had an idea. And you got 7 authors, and an amazing keynote who are on here sharing that with the world. That value is important. Their vision, all of this value you guys have received today, and your voice. I hope you're available to take those words of encouragement and you are available to go, grow, and grow. And like my little sign back here says, you say you're scared, do it scared then. Someone else put in here, freedom over fear. Do it scared. Get it done. Because if you're still here, that is what you are purposed and passionate to do. So I'm going to bring back my Beyond the Classroom visionary. I hope you guys are available to learn from those quick words of encouragement and that you will do something with it. Do what you received on today.
Thank you so much for that message. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Everything that you have done for this project for me, you are amazing. So any graphics, go ahead. So again, give me 10 more minutes and then we are out of here because we have events to get to. I know my co-authors, some of you guys are in person. So what's going to happen now is we're going to have our last video from our business sponsor, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to make my announcement, and to conclude, I will end with the raffle, the final raffle of this morning. So let's go ahead.
Ladies educators, I am Sean Jones, educator of 20 years. Yes, 20 years. And the founder and head consultant for BJ Legacies Unlimited. Now, BJ Legacies Unlimited is a consulting agency that specializes in small business development. That includes the formation of the business, the foundation, organizational work, and the funding. Now, like you, I remember being in the classroom and later at the district level and just wanting to start a business, but not exactly sure how to get that done and definitely not sure where to find the money to actually get it going. So now I'm on the other side of that fence and I get to help you take the anxiety out of forming that business and the stress out of finding the funding to scale and grow it. So if you're finally ready to start that business, or maybe you have one and you just need some money to help grow it, make sure you book that consultation today and let me help you get formed, funded, and fabulous. See you soon.
Awesome. So now the big announcement. So because of all of this amazing journey, again, it started with an idea and it's brought me all the way to this point. And this point, I have my own publishing company. I am the founder and CEO of Cultivated Minds Publishing, in which I want to build communities that empower teacher collaboration through publishing. So we specialize in collaboration projects and collaboration books and those resources that educators need to be better educators or be better admin or be better coaches, right? Anything within the educational umbrella. So I have created this company. Thank you again, Shanine. You have influenced me to do this as well and to provide an opportunity for other educators. Deep down, collaboration is what we do in the classroom on a normal work day, but we never collaborate when it comes to ourselves, right? So I want to provide an opportunity for income. I also want to provide our teachers with the ability to leave a legacy, leverage your life, leverage those skills that you have within you. So 2 final points to conclude our conference is do not let burnout keep you from sharing your dreams. We all know how it can affect us negatively, but we don't want that to take our life, right? Leverage your life. Keyword there is life, to live. We don't want burnout. And as we found out, you can look like what you go through or you cannot, and it can still happen to you. So you want to make sure that you're not letting that take you out of here so you don't have the ability to share your story. We want to hear your story, as you heard. And lastly, be the person that you never had with the knowledge that will change the world. Now that you have access to us, these amazing authors, the amazing author coach, the amazing brand master, me, even the collaboration coach, right? You have access to all these people. Now you can take all the knowledge and use that to leverage your success. So I hope you gain that from there. And my next project, to conclude, is Beyond the Classroom Part 2. Okay, Beyond the Classroom Part 2 is going to explore many of the challenges that we have in our classroom, but why we need to be beyond it. There could be a better position. We could be a better event planner. We could be a better principal. We could be a better mathematician, right? A mathematics coach. I don't know if they have coaches, but you could be the first one. So it's just taking it up another level. And you guys have been instrumental in the creation of this company and moving forward with our next book. So if you want to be a part of the next book, we have a waiting list, and it's going to be Beyond the Classroom Part 2. So make sure you join the waiting list by simply following the directions in the commercial. I'm getting ready to play it, and then I'm going to put it in the chat as well. You're going to simply just type the word waitlist, type the word waitlist to 888-231-6310. That is 888-231-6310. We will be starting up in July. So let's roll the commercial. So thank you again. Thank you for tuning in and staying for the entire time. It was greatly appreciated. Now we're going to end off with our last raffle. And this raffle is for a $25 Visa gift card. Okay, so this raffle is going to be for our registrants. So let me remove Miss Larissa and let's open back up our registrants. And this gift card is going to go to Miss Dawn Sherry Reddy. Oh, I like her name. Congratulations, Miss Dawn. I will be getting in contact with you so I can mail you or email you your prize. So I would like to thank everyone again. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing Saturday. Keep in mind, Juneteenth was this week. Let's still play it up, right? Black businesses, Black ownership. And thank you again for being a part of this amazing project. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next project. So have an amazing day. And you will be hearing from Stephanie J. Sanders, Beyond the Classroom, to teach or not to teach very, very soon. Adios, guys.